conclusion, and the reference. So starting with the introduction, just give me a second. So starting with the introduction, so the video surveillance systems are widely used for security purposes by individuals and organizations. So basically, we use this in various environments like military, virtual reality, and intelligence monitoring. So when it comes to video surveillance, the radar technology and image processing are the two different ways of detecting and tracking multiple objects. So detecting moving objects is a challenging factor. The main reason for this is the brightness issue, obstructions, and alternation in the backdrop. So the background subtraction is also crucial for moving object detection. And the Kalman filter effect is used to update the position and the velocity of the object in video surveillance. So our paper proposes the use of both probability-based grasshopper algorithm and the Kalman filtering for DTMO. The structure of the paper includes a section on corresponding DTMO-based work, methodology, experimental results, and conclusion. So moving on with the method of problem description. Uh, in a global coverage, the video surveillance has become an increasingly important for practical purposes. The detecting and tracking number of objects at once is a key component for video monitoring. Recent development in machine learning have led to creation of wide range of detecting and tracking multiple objects techniques. However, the current approaches are severely hindered by massive amount of data, which makes the object tracking more time consuming. So coming on to the methodology of our paper, when we give a raw video as an input, the video gets converted into various frames and the pre-processing gets started. And once the pre-processing ends, it goes to the multiple object detection. So under the multiple object detection, we'll be having morphological operations and region growing happening. And once this is completed, it moves on to multiple object tracking. So in multiple object tracking, there are three segments: Kalman filtering, probability-based grasshopper algorithm, and motion estimation, which happens simultaneously. And once this is completed, we'll be able to do the multiple object tracking, like it gets executed. And moving to the result and discussion of our paper. Sorry, I guess, yeah. So in results and discussion, as you can see, uh, first comes the parameter for training and testing the model. We have various parameters like batch sizes, learning rate, epoch, score threshold, minimum dimension, and maximum dimension, which the respective value of 8, 0.02 for learning rate, and 12,000 epoch, and 0.7 score threshold, 600 maximum dimension, 600 minimum dimension, and 1024 maximum dimension. And for the information about the data set, we have two types of data sets, which is the pedestrian and highway. For pedestrian data sets, the frame is 250,000. The frame size we have opted was 640 into 480. The background is ground and the moving objects are pedestrians. In highway, there are totally 1,700 frames with 720 into 480 frame size. The background is a road and the moving object is a vehicle. So as you can see in this image, this is the detection, figure 5, the detection and tracking of multiple objects in highway dataset. So this is how the algorithm works. And coming to the accuracy level of the detecting and tracking multiple objects based on the pedestrian and highway datasets, based on the we have considered the 6 frames, frame 1 and frame 2. Based on that, we have given a comparative study in a percentage. And moving on to the proposed work, when compared to the existing model using the pedestrian datasets, the parameters or the Kalman filtering, optimal partial filtering, Kalman filtering with GA, and the proposed work as a DTMO. So when it comes to KF Kalman filtering, the recall value is 0.4726. The false negative rate is 0.5172, and the false positive rate is 0.0194. And when it comes to OPF, the recall value is 0.4805. The false negative rate is 0.4803, and the false positive rate is 0.0172. And when it comes to KF with GA, it is 0.05278 and the false negative value is 0.4384. The false positive rate is 0.0164. Well, our proposed work DTMO, the recall value is 0.5502. False negative rate is 0.4006 and false positive rate is 0.0123. And coming to the proposed work for the highway data set, the KF value for recall is 0.4821, false negative rate is 0.5291, false positive rate is 0.0207, and the OPF value are 0.4932. The false negative rate is 0.4825. The false positive is 0.0193. And when it comes to KF with a GA, the recall value is 0.5126, false negative rate is 0.4672, and false positive rate is 0.0173. And our proposed work for the highway datasets, DTMOR, the recall value is 0.5413, the false negative rate is 0.4185, and the false positive rate is 0.0141. And at the IC level, we have created an line graph in which our DTMO has the highest accuracy rate of 0.982. The similarities basically is 0.982 for the pedestrian, and for the highway dataset, the accuracy, the similarity was 0.985. Moving on with the conclusion of a paper is morphological operation and the region growing methods are employed to detect objects against dynamic background, and Kalman filtering is utilized to track and detect objects, especially in noiseless frames. The model is capable of detecting objects even in low light conditions, and its applicability. Primarily, the design for surveillance video analysis is particularly effective for moderate objects movement scenarios. We have achieved accuracy of 77.24 for object detection and 87.82 for object tracking. Detection rate is lower when compared to tracking rate, highlighting a major, this detection rate highlights the major limitation for the proposed work. We also suggest the exploration of more efficient object detection techniques, potential leveraging of motion estimation methods to enhance the accuracy. And the reference paper, we have taken the hybrid object detection and tracking for cooperative perception using 3D LiDAR from IEEE, which was published in August 2023. And we have other papers which we have taken was an improved statistical approach for moving object detection in thermal video frames. It was published in 2022. And we also have a 3D object detection and tracking based on LiDAR camera fusion and IMMUKF algorithm towards the highway driving, which was published in 2023 on IEEE. And we also have an intelligent two-layer intrusion detection system for IoT, which was published in IEEE on the year 2023. The last reference paper was interaction transformer for 3D multimodal, which was published in 2022. Thank you. Hello, we have completed our. Hello, are we audible? ID 65, we have completed our paper presentation.
Sir, yeah, paper number 65.
Yes, sir.
What type of the testing data set you have chosen to compare?
For testing data set, we got the pedestrian in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, and for highway, we used California Technology, Caltech's university, the highway.
The theme you have chosen in that testing
Sorry, sir, can you come again?
testing data set which you have chosen to compare that I'm asking like 80% or 20%.
Yes, sir. So for the pedestrian, it was person, sir, and for highways, we were using the moving object like vehicles.
And accuracy, whatever you have achieved, that is also very good.
Sir, the accuracy for object detection, we have achieved 77.24%, sir. And for object tracking, we have achieved 87.82%.
And maybe requires at least 90% and for very good data set. So maybe you have to optimize the frames before take off the things, then only you can get at least more than 90.
Okay, sir, we'll definitely implement it, sir.
It shows that you have only chosen one frame set and then you have to run this things. But when you have to chosen 5, 6 different optimization techniques, then only you can get very good accuracy.
Okay, sir, we'll implement it, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to the next paper ID. Paper ID 67. If available, please respond. I repeat, paper ID 67.
Once again.
Paper ID 67. If available, please respond. Manoj Kumar will respond. If you are available, please respond. Moving on to the next paper ID 67. If you are available, please respond. I repeat, paper ID 68. If available, please respond. I repeat, paper ID 68. If you are available, please respond.
Yes, ma'am, we are here. Hello.
Yes. A gentle reminder to the authors and co-authors, 7 minutes will be allocated for each presentation. There will be a warning bell at 6 minutes and a final bell at 7 minutes, with further 3 minutes for discussion. So to start off, paper ID 68, authored by Santana Krishnan, C, Dunmay Shukla, and Anusha Arun Varma, titled Register using OpenCV and ECOCR. Now I leave time for the presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Today, will be today presenting our project Register using OpenCV and EasyOCR.
Paper ID 68 by Anshu Arun Verma and Tanmay Shukla.
Our table of contents for today is introduction, problem description, proposed system,
Methodology, result, and conclusion.
Our project is about automatic number plate recognition. A vehicle registration plate is attached to either the front or at the back of the number of a vehicle as well.
Here, image processing technology like OpenCV and EasyOCR are used to locate the region of interest and extract the vehicle number.
The problem description for us, why we need this uh, automatic number plate recognition system, because there are many owners who uh, because as a result of increase in vehicle, the authorities have a difficulty in identifying the vehicles. And the second reason could be that the vehicles, the owners drive too fast for the authorities to identify.
Another reason is that some owners put an illuminating film on the vehicle, which, when taken a picture of with the existing system, comes an overexposed image, which the system cannot determine. Also tells about the different languages the number is written in.
The Our proposed model employs intelligent region segmentation to adapt different license plates. Through image processing, the model effectively handles challenging plates with specific illumination patterns, separators, enhancing automatic number plate recognition system, robustness, and reliability.
Automatic number plate recognition system automate license plate recognition, reducing manual intervention and human errors. This frees up traffic management personnel for other critical tasks, enhancing operational efficiency.
In our methodology, there are two modules, object detection and module 2 text recognition. In our first module, object detection, we'll be first inputting the image. From that image, we'll be detecting the object, which is the number plate. In that, we'll be converting into a grayscale image to eliminate the lighting possibilities of the image. So that when the illuminating film is added, it will not affect our uh, processing. In object detection, we'll be using bilateral filtering, which will help in noise reduction. And then we'll be using edge and contour detection to find the edges of the number plate. Then we'll be adding a bounding box. In the bounding box, we'll be using the approximate polygonal curve, which will be set to 4, as the number of sides of a number plate is a rectangle shape, which is 4. So it will help us to find the number plate and put the bounding box on it. With this bounding box, we'll be able to find the region of interest.
After finding the input area of interest, we'll use EasyOCR library, that is optical character recognition. So using this library, we'll able to extract the letters and the numbers from the number plate, which is present on the vehicle. It could be at the top, at the front, or at the back, on the sideways also. So the text recognition helps us to determine in which language the number plate is written, whether it's English or any regional language or any other language. Finally, the result is displayed that what is the number is and what the number plate is, which region it consists.
Next, we'll be discussing about our code. We'll be first importing libraries like EasyOCR for op optical character recognition, IMLTS, CV2, Matplotlib, NumPy for image processing.
We'll be importing IM materials basically for your OpenCV, that is optical character recognition, and your OpenCV, that is computer vision, open computer vision. So we'll be using these two main libraries for CV and OCR.
Then we'll be importing our image and we'll be converting into a grayscale image. Next, we'll be using a bilateral filter for noise reduction and then a canny edge detection to detect the edges. And then we'll be convert into a binary image.
we'll be figuring out the contours in the image that specify the number plate. So we'll be taking out contours, that is, we'll be taking length 4 that depicts 4 edges of the plate, and we'll apply OCR on it.
We'll then add a mask on the region of interest, which will black out the whole image except the region of interest. Then from the region of interest, we'll crop into the image to find the region of interest, and we'll be applying our OCR on top of it. And then with applying the OCR, we'll be able to detect the text present inside it. And then we'll be able to display the text on top of the image along with overlaying a bounding box on it. The automatic number plate recognition is will help us to enhance the traffic management as well as vehicle identification for authorities, as it will also free up manpower, and it will also help in reducing human errors as well as reduce manual intervention. It will also increase efficiency as well as accuracy.
The implementation of automatic number plate recognition system contributes to improve road safety, reduce traffic congestion, and enhanced law enforcement capabilities. With ongoing advancement in technology and algorithm optimization, the number plate recognition system continues to evolve, offering even greater potential for enhancing transportation system worldwide, emphasizing the importance of continued research, collaboration, and investment in automatic number plate recognition system technology to realize its full benefits and address emerging challenges.
For our reference, we have taken the automatic number plate recognition system from the International Journal of Computer Applications released on May 2013, as well as case study ANPI utilized for smart system parking July 2023. Thank you. That's our project.
Anyone, any question?
Okay, good afternoon. Could you actually explain what is novel about your approach? Because there's obviously a lot of research going on in recognition of license plate. There are even practical applications of it, so it's well established. So I just want to know what's your original contribution.
So contribution is that in the existing number plate system technology, there are many uses flash technique. Like for if someone puts an illuminating film on top of it, the image will be overexposed, and the current system cannot determine it. So we won't be using flash. Over there, we'll be converting into grayscale and then a binary image. So with the help of the canny edge detection as well as contour detection and approximate polygon size, we'll be able to find out the region of interest and then apply an easy OCR onto it.
Yep.
As well as there's a language barrier, which due to different languages, there might be uh, in different parts of the world, different language plates are used. So if a car is imported to a different country, there might be a language barrier for the authorities. So to overcome that, we are using this.
Anyone has any more questions? Thank you. Going further, may I know if paper ID 70 and 72 is available? I repeat, paper ID 70 and 72. If you are available, kindly respond.
Hello. My paper ID is 72.
72, paper ID 72. Okay, paper ID 72, titled Stock Market Prediction from News Contents Using Ensemble Learning Technique, authored by Firoz Hassan and Rubina Khatun. I now give time for your presentation. Firoz, would you be presenting your paper ID 2728 simultaneously next to next, or after a few presentations, you'll be presenting that?
I want to present now 72 MD Abdul Qayyum.
Okay, so you won't be presenting paper ID 27 and 28? Could you just confirm us?
I will present paper ID 72. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. My paper title is Stock Market Prediction from News Content Using Ensemble Learning Techniques. I am Mohammad Abdul Qayyum, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Daffodil International University. First, I am to show my presentation content. That's the introduction, motivation, previous work, methodology, result analysis, and lastly, conclusion. Let's start. Introduction. Stock market prediction is the process of using various techniques like mathematical modeling to forecast the future movements of stock prices. Financial news disclosures provide valuable information for traders and investors while making stock market investment decisions. Past performance is not necessarily indicative for future result. Many factors like global economy, economic factor can impact stock market movement and make accurate prediction difficult. We use natural language processing NLP techniques like bag of word model and TF-IDF to extract relevant information from news headlines. Use machine learning models to predict stock market movements. And emphasize the significance of feature extraction method like sentiment analysis and the sliding window method in this context. Our aims to address the need of advanced models in natural language processing tasks to enable more complex analysis. Previous work. Stock market prediction using breaking financial news using the AdtF in text by Robert P. Sukumar and et al. Their predictive machine learning approach incorporated financial news articles to estimate discrete stock price. Additionally, a proper noun scheme outperformed the bag of word standard. The model achieved the best performance when considering both article terms and stock prices at the time of article released. The study highlights the potential of supermarket machine derives and stock specific variables for predicting stock prices. Also, and another one, efficiency of news sentiment for stock market prediction by Joy Shankar Prasad et al. They proposed a daily prediction model that utilized historical data and news articles. Employing naive bias as the classifier, the model categorized news text into positive or negative sentiment. The study achieved an accuracy rate ranging from 65.30% to 91.20% using various machine learning techniques. Overall, their research highlights the potential of incorporating news sentiment analysis into stock market prediction models, particularly in the context of Indian market. Dataset description. Our dataset is collected from Kaggle dataset. Dataset has a combination of world news and stock prices. There are 25 columns of top news headlines for each day in the data frame, data level, and level. And level is the dependent feature of our dataset. Data range from 2008 to 2020, and the data frame 2000 to 2020 was scrapped from Yahoo Finance. Levels are based on the Dow Jones Industrial Average Stock Index. Class 1 represent the stock price increased, and class 0 represent for the stock price stayed the same or decreased. Methodology. First, we collect data set. As I said before, we collect data from Kaggle, and then we pre-processed our data like feature selection, order reduction, feature representation, and then we apply ensemble learning. We choose random forest, naive bias, logistic regression, supervector machine, simple RNN, and long short-term memory called LSTM. And then we perform performance analysis. And now result analysis. As we say beginning, we apply two NLP techniques, bag of word and TF-IDF. We apply both in the model, and we get the highest accuracy on LSTM, that is 92.41%. Conclusion. The stock market is a crucial factor in GDP growth daily life. This research paper focuses on LSTM, which provides 92% accuracy in stock market prediction. LSTM is superior to RNN and regression due to its ability to handle both long and short data and its scale to 0-1. In the future, the whole market will change digitally so that the forecast method has a wide range in the stock market. So before we share the amount in the stock market, we can easily predict the profit or loss of our shares. That's all. Thank you. If you have any question.
Yeah, thank you. Any question from the audience? So you are telling that LSTM gives a very good result. So have you compared this other RNN model? Because RNN model, LSTM is one of the RNN model. So apart from LSTM, which other RNN model you have chosen?
I use simple RNN model, and RNN model give me 78.55% accuracy.
You have not chosen the gated recurrent neural network.
No.
That is the RNN model. So because two RNN model is there, you just use the simple RNN model. So it is much better if you have chosen the another RNN model, advanced model, apart from LSTM. Then it gives the very good insights. So what is the novelty of your work? Are you there?
Yes.
What is the novelty of your work?
I predict the stock market analysis from Kaggle dataset.
That is already so many case studies are there in internet. And the prediction of the stock market is also a simple guide is written in Wikipedia or something. So what new things you have developed in your model? Okay, I think.
Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Off on.
Any more questions from the audience? Okay, thank you, your author. Next, we have our paper ID 27. Authors are Firoz Hassan and Rubina Khatun. The title is Hyperparameter Optimization Using Machine Learning. I request the author to kindly respond.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear your voice. You are from paper 27?
Yes, I am paper IDS 27.
Okay. Could you kindly share your presentation, please?
Can you hear my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Switch it to your presentation mode.
Okay, I will start my presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can you switch to full screen mode?
I cannot hear you talking.
Can you,
Please.
can you switch to full screen mode?
I will start my presentation.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I am Himayatu Santuhin, Department of CSC, Daffodil International University. My presentation topic is hyperparameter optimization using machine learning. And now I will briefly describe it. Let's begin. Introduction. Hyperparameter tuning is an important step determining the best machine learning settings. Determining the appropriate hyperparameter takes a long time, especially when the goal is functions are expensive to compute. A large numbers of parameters must be tweaked based on the emphasize research on machine learning models and the benchmark problem. The next one is motivations. Hyperparameter optimization motivated by the fundamentals need to extract the best possible performance from the machine learning models. In the complex landscape for the models development, the selections of the hyperparameters plays a crucial role of determining the model's accuracy, efficiency, generalizations ability. By fine-tuning this parameter, we aim to strike the optimal balance between the model complexity, simplicity, ensure that the model neither over the fit training data nor under the performance on unseen data. The previous work, I am aiding three previous work. The first one is efficient hyperparameter optimization, natural language processing applications. The key features of this paper are proposals a multi-stage hyperparameter optimization approach for machine learning and natural language processing, claim of superior performance in terms of speed and the accuracy compared to the recent Bayesian optimizations method, demonstrate reduce the numbers of trials and iterations required for the optimizations with the techniques. The second one is hyperparameter optimization using mass surrogate machine learning algorithm. The key features of this paper are introducing a novel hyperparameter optimizations algorithms, Marshall's. The second claims of Marshall's capability of find excellent solutions within limited computational research. Describes of the Marshall's as an efficient hyperparameter optimizations technique. The last one is the methodology for deciding whether utilizing hyperparameter optimizations or the default hyperparameter setting. The key features of this paper are introducing a system for deciding whether a employed hyperparameter optimizations default setting for classifications method, emphasize on the methodology's role in the assisting model, that's avoiding the negative consequent unsuccessful optimizations, highlighting the importance incremental additions training dataset for enhanced predictions accuracy, enable lifelong learning. Focus on hyperparameter optimizations impact on improving classifications accuracy of data mining algorithms. The next one is dataset descriptions. The National Institution of Diabetes and Digestive Kidney Disease providing the main dataset for the dataset that to get the ideal parameter, we download the dataset from the Kaggle. Essentially, the primary objectives of the dataset is to determine if a patient has diabetes by using certain diagnosis parameters. That's the part of this collections. Methodology. Methodology is the crucial part of that. My study, the methodology hyperparameter tuning typically involves the following steps. The number one is defining hyperparameters. The next step is choose a search space. The third one is the most important, select a search strategy. Choose a methodology searching for hyperparameter stage strategy, including read search, random search, CB, Bayesian optimizations, sequential model-based optimization, up to automated hyperparameter tuning. The fourth one is defining evaluation metrics, split data for the validations. The next one is perform hyperparameter search, evaluate on test set. The beside screen, you can see that the diagram of the methodology part. Model comparison. Performance comparison of hyperparameter tuning testings. In this study, I am using 6 model, one genetics algorithm, Bayesian optimization, randomized search CB, manual training, turning, random forest classifier, and Optona. We will get the genetic algorithm with the highest accuracy, the 85.71% is. Optona is 81.81. The next one is randomized search, 81.16. Manual testing is also the second part of this percentage, 82.46, and random search is the lowest, 78.56 of my study. Conclusions. The machine learning has become the main method for handling data problems and using the extensively main different applications. Before machine learning model using the real applications, hyperparameter needs to adjust to accommodations particular data set. It's now essentials automated turn of the hyperparameter due to the fact that the human hyperparameter tuning is very competitively expensive and the amount of data generated increasingly dramatically in a practice. To determine the ideal set of hyperparameter for this study, we use hyperparameter techniques of the machine learning model. Despite the small size of our data set, we can see that the subset that we are selected at random are the highly representative available data set since for the efficiently optimization a wide range of hyperparameters. Here are some reference. I will collect some information from here. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? This work you have done it, the collection of the previous papers, or you have conducted any set of machine learning approaches?
Sir, I cannot hear your voice properly.
My question is this work which you have presented here, that is the collection of previous work, or you have done something new with this work? Am I audible?
Sorry, sir, I cannot hear your voice properly. The network issue may be.
My voice is clear now? Am I audible?
Thank you, dear author. You can stop sharing your screen. Paper ID 27, you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Next.
Thank you. Give me an opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Next is paper ID 28. The title is Lung Disease Detection Using Transfer Learning Model. Is the author present in the meet?
Yes, ma'am.
You're there?
Can you hear me?
Okay, can you share your screen?
Uh, can you see my skin?
Yes, we can see your screen. Kindly switch to presentation mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am MD Zohirul Islam,
Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Daffodil International University. Now today we are presenting lung disease dissection using transfer learning model. My paper ID is 28. Today's today's contacts, introduction, motivation, literature review, dataset description, methodology, result analysis, and some references. Introduction: lung disease detection is one of the leading causes of death globally, with around 5 million uh, people dead by every year, referred by the World Health Organization. This paper discusses the use of deep natural learning and convolution neural network for classification and detection of lung disease, including COVID-19, pneumonia, and from uh, chest X-ray image. I- mm, in mention of utilize the various data set from platform like Kaggle and NIAs along. Propolar architecture using BGC 16, BGC 19, MobileNet V2, and Inception were evaluate and technique for accuracy disease classification. This study implies and significant and efficiency of deep learning in medical image for deciding discussion and addition. Motivation: our study motivation is the use AI for find classification difference learn disease early on, including those associated with COVID-19, pneumonia, and TBC, so people can get right time for treatment as sooner. By catching those problems early, we hope to save life and make lung disease earliest to manage and save life. Literature review. In this paper, the researcher multiple classification deep learning model for diagnostics COVID-19, pneumonia, and lung cancer says diagnosis. A deep learning model is used to classify chest X-ray and CT scan for diagnosed lung cancer, pneumonia, and COVID-19. For architects is with BGC 19 and CNN architects is result these result achieve in 98.5% accuracy. And others model are also used BGC dataset CNN and included uh, ASTN achieve 73% accuracy. Result also developed researchers are also developed a strong for identification pneumonia and COVID-19. Classification and others researcher and work these topics: classification and prediction of lung disease for chest X-ray using mobile net. The convolution neural network CNN model was trained and validated using a public available X-ray dataset. The mobile classification uh, chest X-ray for various lung disease and make for us using mobile net modification. The public efficiency classification based on X-ray image using convolution neural network. This paper Abbas and et al. The artifact disease CNN based model for detection proper automites and archive at 95% accuracy. In this paper using popular model ResNet V2 and ResNet 15 V2. Now we describe data set description. This paper analysis 7,135 pictures from four classes: COVID-19, normal, pneumonia, and TB. The data set observed from Kaggle included 4,200 pneumonia picture, 1,500 normal picture, and 7,000 tubular picture, and 556 COVID-19 picture with various picture size in grace replacement. Now we talking about method. First we collect data from Kaggle and NSI. Then we pre-process image, and the pre-processes part is remove is noisy data, and then artifact and image enhancement. Then we see model selection. Uh, we select five model: BGC 16, BGC 19, and MobileNet V2, MobileNet, and Infinite. Then we select best model. Best model is BGC 16. Then we analysis result analysis conclusion making loss curve, result accuracy, and result comparison result analysis. Now we talking about my paper result. BGC 19 trained accuracy 95.6, loss 2.4, validation accuracy 94.66, validation loss 0.23, and test loss 95.24, and test loss 0.24. BGC 16 97.46, 0. Test loss 0.19, and validity 96.85, and loss 0.13, test accuracy 96.16, and test loss 0.19. Mobile net trained accuracy 95.43, test loss 0.18, validation accuracy 94.23, validation loss 0.28, test accuracy 94.24, and test loss 0.33. Mobile net trained accuracy 95.76, and test loss 0.25, validation accuracy 94.63, validation loss 0.32, and test accuracy 94.56, test loss 0.3. This table summarize the train, test, and validation accuracy of five learning models, with BGC 16 is the best accuracy model based on data presentation. Conclusion: transfer learning is test for lung disease test X-ray accuracy. Usually, five transfer learning model and hyperparameter analysis accuracy, high cost accuracy through carefully hyperparameter optimization, overcome high cost of normal radiation species, and reduce for large data set for deep learning algorithm including images. Here is some references. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? So when you select the data set for different your data set means data number is completely different. Like in some cases you have taken 1000 something, and some cases 700. So if your data set is different, then how you compare all the things?
My data set is collect Kaggle and NSI, and it mixed for many types of data set.
Comparison is only possible if you have chosen the same set of data. Because in this way, your some things will give the good accuracy, something will give good accuracy, means some bad. So means your data set is completely different. 1383, 700, and 556, and now you are comparing with the same algorithm. So comparison is only possible if the things are same. Then how it is possible to make a comparison?
Actually, I used to many.
Research. Because if same set of data, then only you can compare. Otherwise, the comparison is not fruitful because you are comparing the different numbers.
Uh,
You will not get a very accurate results.
Sir, I cannot hear with for reason for network. Sir, please can you question again?
My question is when you are comparing something, then you have to take in the same number of the data set. Then only you can make a very good comparison. Understood? You can take care of that questions in your future research.
I will try my future work.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can you please mute? Now we have paper ID 67, titled Speech Emotion Recognition Using Deep Learning.
Ma'am, I have 29 paper ID.
Paper ID 67, are you there?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. My paper ID is 26. Can we present it?
We are asking 67. 67 is there. Then 26 you can present. Start your presentation. 26.
29 paper ID. May I?
26. Assam, please wait for 10 minutes.
Starting with paper ID 26, titled Multilingual Toxic Comment Classification Using Deep Learning, authored by Firoz Hassan and Rubina Khattam. And now give time for the presentation.
Twenty-six, please present your presentation. Share your slides. 26.
My paper ID is 26. May I present my presentation?
Present. Start your presentation.
Thank you. Just a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes, please start.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, MD Ahmed. Our presentation ID is 26. Our presentation was yesterday. Because of this problem, we are giving this presentation today. And our title is Multilingual Toxic Comment Classification Using Deep Learning. Agenda: Introduction, previous work, methodology, experiment analysis, and conclusion. Introduction: Multilingual toxic comment analysis is a necessary tool in today's globalized society where people of different languages and cultures interact online. With the increased use of social media and online platforms, it is essential to monitor and detect toxic comments that can harm individuals or communities. Toxic comments can come in the form of the hate speech, discrimination, harassment, and threats. These types of comments can have serious consequences, including mental health issues, online buying, and physical harm. However, toxic comments are not always easy to identify, as they can written in different languages and we use slang or colloquialism that may not familiar to everyone. This is where multilingual toxic comments analysis comes in. By analyzing comments in multiple languages, toxic comments analysis tools can more accurately detect and flag harmful content. This helps to create a safer online environment for all users, regardless of their language or cultural background. In addition, multilingual toxic comments analysis can also help to identify platforms and trends in toxic behaviors, allowing for productive measures to be taken to prevent future incidents. This is especially important for marginalized or targeted groups who may be more vulnerable to toxic comments. Overall, multilingual toxic comments analysis is a crucial in promoting online safety and inclusivity for all users. There are a number of existing work in the field of multilingual toxic comments analysis. One approach is the use of machine translation of analysis toxic comments in multiple languages. This involves translating comments into a single language, such as English, and then use natural language processing techniques to identify toxic content. While this approach is relatively fast and accurate, it can be limited by the quality of the machine translation and the ability of natural language processing algorithm to accurately detect toxic content. There are various approaches to toxic comment analysis, including the use of rule-based systems, machine learning algorithms, and human moderation. Some common approaches include the use of supervised machine learning, in which a model is trained on a level dataset of toxic and non-toxic comments, and supervised machine learning, in which a model is trained to identify patterns in the data without being explicitly. This can involve the use of metrics such as precision recall and F1 score, which measures the ability of the system to correctly identify toxic comments. There has also been research on the use of natural language processing and machine learning techniques for identifying a subtitle from the toxicity. Overall, our research is the area focused on developing effective and efficient methods for identifying and mitigating toxic behavior in online comments and platforms, with a particular emphasis on multilingual environments. Now I'm talking about previous work. Toxic comment classification using transformers. Akash Himanshu Kumar. Model explored 4 different deep learning models, including transformers, LSTM, ZRUS, and bidirectional LSTMs with CNNs. Bidirectional LSTMs with CNNs achieves the second best performance in terms of accuracy and AF score. Key finding: transformers, particularly those with pre-trained weights, outperform traditional deep learning techniques, LSTMs and ZRUs for classifying comments and based on toxicity. Toxic social media comment classification N. Ajara et al. Findings: SBM with linear kernel. Is, yes, yes, I am hearable.
What others are telling, just reading the things, whatever you have written.
I am not listening this your question. Can I continue?
Just continue, but you are telling, just this front of your this
For toxic comment classification, C square with TF IDF is effective but does not outperform the SBM model without T square. Categorize harmful remarks. Hafiz et al. Findings: created substitute word remaining using globe word to make and fast text for Roman Urdu. Developed a significant level corpus. Categorized statements as poisonous or non-toxic in Roman Urdu. Trained various classification models, including deep word embedding models, achieving in 86.35% F1 score. Proposed an ensemble method to enhance classification performance. Established the first ever benchmark for Roman Urdu's classification of damaging comments. Toxic comments classification using LSTMs and AWS et al. Findings: This study explored the application of natural language processing methods, especially LSTMs, for classifying unstructured text into harmful and benign categories. LSTMs outperforms neighbors by 20% in categorized harmful comments. The integration of Amazon Web Service enhanced the working pipeline provide a quick, dependable online platform. The use of LSTMs achieves a highly encouraged accuracy of more than 70% in the identifying harmful remarks. Dataset. We are estimating the likelihood that a common will be harmful. The development of machine learning models that can recognize online conventional toxicity. The dataset are collected from Kaggle. Data gathering and analysis. We analyze the distribution of language in the dataset to detect the language of comments in the dataset. Use the polyglot package which takes as input and predicts the language of the text. Sentimental and polarity. Sentimental and polarity quantities that reflect their emotion and intention behind this sentence. We look at the sentiment of the comments using the NLTK Natural Language Toolkit library. Digital word algorithm model. Google AI language researchers wrote the BART study. It quickly rose to top the heap on several NLP tasks and created quite a streak during the field test. Transformer by conditional training, a well-known attention model, is used to a model language and BART, which represents in key technological achievements. The study finding demonstrate the biconditional trained language models are superior to single direction language models in their comprehension of context and linguistic flow. The authors of the present a unique method called masked LM that makes biconditional training possible in models where it was previously unfeasible. Vanilla neural network. Vanilla neural network refers to a classical neural network architecture. Vanilla neural network consists of sequential layers that perform simple matrix multiplication vector additions until we reach the output layers. The propagation of values in a VNN can be represented with the following collection, where W is weight matrix and B is the bias vector in layer xn plus 1 W xn plus B. Working method of capsule network. It's an integration strategy to use capsule network for the jigsaw multilingual toxic comments classification job. Capsule networks, also known as capsule neural networks or capsnets, are a type of neural network architecture that aims to address some of the limitations of traditional convolutional neural networks in capturing hierarchical and
Am I
spatial
audible?
relation.
Am I audible? Firoz?
Yes, I am audible.
Am I audible? Can you directly go to the results section, please?
Okay. Here is the experimental results sections. 4 models are used, and let's say distill bat is the highest accuracy, 96%. Toxic comment refers to online content that is offensive, disrespectful, abuse, or otherwise harmful to individual or groups. The task is to build learning models that can automatically identify and classify these toxic comments, enabling online platforms to better manage and filter out harmful content, thus promoting healthier and more respectful online discussions. Model name digital bat accuracy 0.9626. Capsule network 0.9024. LSTM 0.9562. CNN 0.9056.
Firoz, your time is already over. You just go to the conclusion.
Yes.
Just go to the conclusion. Your time is already over, and you are also not listening when you are reading something. You just open the another window and you are reading the things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to present my presentation.
We have a culture of this station present in our midst. Dr. Kumari Sharma,
Ma'am,
Guwahati University,
paper ID 29.
Felicitating to the young council.
Paper ID 29. Ma'am, may I present?
Paper ID 29.
Now 27, Hassan, please start your presentation. Hassan, please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope you see my.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your voice is very low. Can you increase your volume?
Okay. Thank you. May I present, please?
Yes, you can present.
Okay.
Start.
Thank you. Welcome to my presentation and International Conference on Advances and Sustainable Development, Innovation and Green Technology 2024. My name is Hassan Mun. I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and my paper ID is 29. Plant disease detection using deep learning.
Please go to presentation mode first.
Sorry.
Please keep your slide in presentation mode. Full screen.
Sorry, I cannot hear you in proper.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, please.
Just click F5 on your keyboard. Just click F5 on your keyboard, please.
Keyboard.
Yes, just press F5.
F5.
Yes. F5.
Sorry, sir, I cannot.
Click on slideshow.
Yes.
Click on slideshow.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my paper is 29. Plant disease detection using deep learning. So first of all, introduction. In this introduction chapter, I tell about global problem. Why we discuss on this topic? First of all, plant disease cause great damage in our agriculture, in our significant yield losses. The recent expansion of deep learning method has found its application in plant disease detection. Of existing plant disease detection models are presented and discussed in this paper. Second, plant diseases are responsible for major economic losses in our agricultural sector in the worldwide. Besides this, monitoring plant health and detecting various types of disease earlier essential to reduce disease spread and facilitate effective management practice. So for this reason, we discuss and research on this topic. For plant disease, our crop lost 40% of their of their production. And now we talk about several types of disease, types of plants, and types of algorithms. First of all, data set collection. We collect our data from open source, which is Kaggle. We use 85,000, a large set of data set. A range of fruits and vegetables such as apple, peach, blueberry, grape, cherry, pepper, potato, tomato, and orange. So classification of data is seven type of classification data: cedar apple rust, common rust of corn, and early blight of potato, grape black rot, orange being, strawberry leaf spots, and tomato health. So in this section, we see our data collection of our corn disease, grape black root disease, and many others before I tell you. So now you move forward to next, our methodology. So methodology, we collect data from two types, and first of all, laboratory image, and second is field image. Field, first of all, testing our data, then pre-processing, then testing the sample, and disease classification. After testing, we classification our disease. And laboratory image, first of all, we carrying out data, then processing and train the data, and train the accurate model to find the testing sample and disease the classification. Now we move forward our algorithms. So here we use 5 algorithms. Here, first of all, GG19, CNN, GoogleNet, MobileNet Beyond, and MobileNet V2. So first of all, why you use this kind of algorithm? Because VGG is a convolutional neural network that is 19 layer deep, or basically 19 layer deep. So we can train more than a million images from this algorithm. Second, we use CNN, which is convolutional neural network, which is also deep learning model. specified design for image processing. Basically, we work on image processing, so we use CNN. And after compared to alternative classification models, CNN requires less pre-processing, so we use CNN. Then we use GoogleNet. GoogleNet also conventional, that is 22 layers deep, which I can load a pre-trained version of network. I can train. I can train because we use Kaggle data. Pre-trained version of the network trained either ImageNet or Place 365. The network trained on ImageNet classifiers image into 1000 object categories such as keyboard, mouse, etc. MobileNet also use this type of also CNN designed for mobile and embedded version application. In this segment, we use deep neural networks that can leave low latency for mobile and embedded devices. That's why you use MobileNet. Also, MobileNet version 2, the pre-trained network can classify image into 1000 objects, and I can load a pre-trained version of network, train more than a million users from the comparison of ImageNet 1. Accuracy and loss chart. Here we see the model accuracy and model loss according to BGG19. Here we see this, and now CNN accuracy and loss. First of all, model accuracy, which is based on echoes and accuracy, then model loss, which is based on echoes, and we use training loss and validation loss according to this curve. And here also according to this curve we see model loss and model accuracy, which is also based on loss and equals, and model accuracy based on accuracy and equals. Say MobileNet version and accuracy and loss, we see same thing. We see another data trained model according to our chart, and then MobileNet to version 2. So above all the model trained, we use some experimental analysis. In BGG19, our final test accuracy 46.40%, and our CNN 83.87, and GoogleNet 47.79, MobileNet version 1 94.50, and MobileNet version 2 97.97. So we see that in MobileNet version 2, we find our highest accuracy, which is 97.97. Now, I move forward to conclusion. So we see that MobileNet version 2 achieves competitive accuracy with significantly fewer parameters and smaller computational complexity. The interference time is faster than MobileNet version 1. It is based on an inverted residential structure, which is residual connection are between the bottleneck layers. So the intermediate expansion layer uses the lightweight depth wise convolutional to filter features as a source of linearity. As a whole, the architecture of MobileNet version 2 contains the initial fully convolutional layer with 32 filters, followed by 19 residual layers. So here is my references with some references, which is based Monopozo Emmanuel et al., which is field plant database field plant image or field plant disease detection and classification with deep learning. Then performance evaluation of plant leaf disease detection is deep learning. Then crop disease identification by fusing multi-scale convolution and vision transformer, and detection of symptoms in Vitisphenia, etc., and many other things. So I hope thank you for listening me patiently, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is my last slide. Thank you.
What is the reason?
Sorry, sir.
What is the reason, scientific reason behind the mobile set V2 gives the highest?
Sir, I cannot hear you properly. Please say it.
Hello. Now,
Hello.
my voice is clear.
Why use CNN? Okay. Basically, we use some image for our disease detection. We collect some image. So CNN is used for image processing and recognition of our disease.
Are you audible?
Yes, yes.
My question is why mobile set B2 gives the highest accuracy as comparison to the other algorithm. What is the scientific reason behind it?
According to the data set which is collect from Kaggle, so we train then use this algorithm, and all of the algorithm we train, then we find mobile net version 2 which is highest accuracy. Basically the actual data set table is not in my here in my uh, presentation slide. So for this reason, I'm sorry, I cannot show you the proper result of why we use mobile net 2 and why it is the exactly 97.5. So sorry for this reason.
Let's stop presenting now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. For those who have missed the presentation yesterday, you will be given time to present contributingly when your paper ID is being called. Starting with paper ID 22, titled An Empirical Study of Speech-to-Text Recognition Using TensorFlow, Theoretical Insights and Framework Evaluation, authored by Arvind Ajit Kumar and Ayush Hardier. Are you present?
22. '67 is present. 67. Any others who are present here? Any paper ID? Any paper IDs who have not presented yet? You can respond. Paper number 70. Any paper IDs, those who have not presented yet?
70, paper ID 70.
Paper ID 70, are you present? 76?
Paper ID 70 is available. What can I present?
Yeah, you can start. Yes, you can start.
Thank you.
What is your paper ID?
70.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Can you see it? Okay.
अपना नेक्स्ट है
Good everyone. I'm Kazim Tekari. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kazim Tekari, Department of CSC, Dr. International University. My paper ID is 70, Mental Health and Depression Analysis using Machine Learning in Bangladesh. There is table of content.
Your voice is not clear.
Hello. There is a table of content, objective, motivation, introduction, related work, methodology, result analysis, and conclusion and reference. First of all, objective. For this paper, we'll be able to know the current situation of mental health and depression, in Bangladeshi people. All the qualitative question will be help to gather knowledge to find out the solution of this problem. Motivation. Mental health and depression are very prominent in our country nowadays. We should create awareness. Mental health and depression are very observed in our country. If we see a development country, they take them the problem and solution to the primary level. But in our country, it has not yet started properly. In today's modern the social media age, and people are moving away from family and close friends, and are more attached to distant friend and social media. This increases the risk of their mental health because most of the time they are sharing their words with the people who help them make wrong decisions. Introduction. Mental health. Mental health is a state of mental well-being that enable people to cope with the stress of life, realize their ability, learn well, work well, and contribute to their society. Depression, major depressive disorder, is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affect how to feel, that way to think, and how to act. Bangladesh is a developing country in South Asia with a population of over 160 million people. All people health service provided is a big concern of government. Mental health is a remains of growing concern. Related work. The author one focused on the significant challenges issue of the mental health, particularly among working professionals, multiple machine learning algorithms, and employed to determine the model. And the author too has focused on the study of various methods for the predicting depression and details to explore various machine learning. And author two also have used machine learning algorithm that are known for a solution. Methodology. First of all, we collect the data from Google Form and put that data prepared raw data, and after the collect the raw data, then data people think. After people think the data were going to training and testing state. We use the 5 machine learning algorithms: random forest decision tree, Nepal, logistic regression, and KNS neighbor algorithm. After 5 algorithms, then we are comparative analysis of the 5 algorithms. After the analysis, then the model evaluating of 5 algorithms and finding the best performance model. Result analysis. Result, first of all, age distribution. Chart is a list of age and the corresponding of particular. This summary indicates the number of participants of each age. And for example, there are 2 participants who are over 70 years old, and one day, and after years old, 21 participants or 90 years old, and so on. The highest participant of the 113 with correspondent of 20 with correspondent of 23 years old. In the second chart, it is a distribution that the university level has the highest frequency.
Not at all clear, sir. We are unable to hear your voice.
Yes, yes.
We are unable to hear your voice. Could you kindly check once?
It's okay now?
It's better now.
In this chart, university level has the highest frequency with 243 responses, and the older education levels mentioned in the data are follow. The high secondary and the higher secondary has frequency of 94, and that typically refers to the level of education and comes to after secondary school and before university. Primary has frequency of just one primary frequency, and the typically refers to clear stage of the formal education that proceed the secondary school. And the bottom of the page are Talk to question or correlation, species correlations, and age and overall mental health. Overall mental health the point is 0.116 with the level of 0.5. Result analysis first of all random forest result analysis. The random forest model performance is good with a precision of 0.81 and the recall of 0.99 for classes of 0.99. The poor performance for the class 1 is precision, recall F1 is 4 and 0 and 0.0 the random forest model accuracy detect 3 out of 10 instance and class 2 and the accuracy of 0.75 and the recall of 0.30 for this class and the NIPS result analysis the classification report the classification of NIP bias model for each classes the perception recall of F1 is storage of 0, 1, 2 they show along the support number of instance and each class. Mark and weighted average of these metrics are also shown. The accuracy of model is very low at 0.1294. Model result graph overall. The random forest model had the highest accuracy with a score of 0.81 compared to other model. This one performed significantly better with an accuracy score of 0.788. And the KNN model likewise did rather well. The NEPAS model is the opposite hand, performing poorly on the provide dataset, receiving the lowest accuracy score 0.1. Challenges. I have faced a problem during data collection. Many people do not interested fill up the Google form. Besides, some people are thinking these people are thinking this Google form as a scam. Conclusion: mental health and depression are complex and a significant issue with a high global prevalence. Depression can have a profound impact of individuals' lives, affecting various aspects of their well-being. And I have found random forest as the most accurate and suitable algorithm as the result of algorithm is 0.81. The goal of the study is to define the problem, analyze the question, how to solve the problem, and why we need to solve this, and how it is affecting to our people life. Here is the some reference of our paper. Predicting mental health disorder using machine learning for employees and technical and non-technical companies, and analysis of machine learning algorithm for predicting depression and finding psychological instability using machine learning 2022 and the review of meta-analysis of machine learning intelligence across the mental health issue and depression. Thank you, everyone. If you have any question.
Any question? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah. So I have just quick comment on it. So how you actually collect the data? So Google Sheet only?
Please, I did not hear your question. Please again.
So your topic is very generalized. Quick comment on it. So your topic is, I think that it's very generalized concept. So that mental health is not a single identity. There are so many factors that can affect the mental health. There may be a factor like genetic signature, genetically motivated. Some genes may be also responsible for causing mental health. Okay. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. So from next time onwards, when you try to collect the data, you just try to specific only very specific disease. Okay. So you don't go for general. Yes.
I did not understand your question. please begin.
Thank you. Paper ID 67 present. Paper ID 67. Any other?
Hello, sir. Paper ID 73 is available. I'm audible to all.
Please start your presentation.
Okay, sir. Okay. Is my screen is visible to all?
Yes, please go ahead with full screen. Okay, start.
Good afternoon to all of you. Our topic is investigation of concrete strength and electrical resistivity through incorporation of construction and demolished waste aggregate, a novel approach for assessing corrosion vulnerability. Author of this paper is Haris Pangal, DTU research scholar, and Sheila Malik, assistant professor, Gitam Kablana, under MD University. And our paper ID is 73. These are the table of content: introduction, research objective, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion and references. Introduction: concrete is common building material, but its susceptibility to corrosion-induced deterioration pose a significant challenge to the durability and service life of the structure. This paper aims to explore a novel approach that involves incorporating construction and demolished waste aggregate into the concrete. Most of the literature that is currently research objective, most of the literature that is currently available explore the investigation of concrete electrical resistivity from a performance standpoint, the impact of C&D waste aggregate upon the strength and electrochemical characteristics of hardened concrete, however, has not been sufficient studied. Key objective of the study are assess the influence of various ratio 25%, 50%, 75% and 100% of C&D waste aggregate on concrete properties, examine compressive strength and concrete surface resistance to electricity as an indicator of corrosion risk, conduct a comparative analysis of the result to draw meaningful conclusion. I hand over to Mr. Haris, will continue the presentation.
So for our study, the different materials which has been adopted in our study is the first is the cement. That is the ordinary Portland cement of grade 43 is used as a cement. Natural aggregates derived from the local market is used as a fine aggregates, and the coarse aggregate also derived from the local market is the natural coarse aggregate. For the recycled products like fine aggregate or coarse aggregate, we are using the crushed stone aggregates derived from the C&D waste plant nearby in the Delhi. So the also super plasticizer we have used for as a admixture by 1% of the cement weight ratio, and the material is as per the IS code specifications we have used. These are the composition of the mixture we have prepared. Around 13 mixture are prepared in different composition. Like the first mixture is the reference mixture, which is completely produced with the natural fine aggregate and natural coarse aggregate. And in other mixture like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and so on, the mixture percentages vary from 25 to 100% with respect to the variation of natural aggregates in them. Means the first four mixture like second, third, fourth, fifth, these are the mixture which are prepared with by replacing recycled aggregate with help of natural fine aggregates. Here we replace fine aggregates with recycled aggregates, and similarly in 6, 7, 8, 9 we have replaced natural coarse aggregate with recycled coarse aggregate in 4 ratio: 25, 50, 75 and 100. And the last 4 mixture 10, 11, 12, 13, the replacement is both aggregates. Natural fine as well as natural coarse aggregates are replaced with recycled fine aggregate and recycled coarse aggregates. So In testing, we have tested two different parameters or two different properties of the concrete. The first is the characteristic compressive strength, which is tested at two different interval of time, 7 days and 28 days. And the second property is the electrical chemical property, which is also known as the surface resistance to flow electrical current through it. By the standard method, that is Xylem TC154 EMC standard, which is used as a resistivity probe meter. As I have already shown you in this particular diagram, it is shown that one side is the actual apparatus, that is the Regipod resistivity meter, and this is the second in the same figure. It is showing how it works. Where when we apply the electricity current, it will flow through the concrete inside it and form the equipotential lines. So we can find out how much resistor it will give resistance to the electrical flow of current based on their strength. These are the standard level for the electrical resistivity based on the Indian standard codes, that if the electrical resistivity is less than 100, then the corrosion risk is high. If it's in between 100 to 500, it is moderate. Between 500 to 1000, it is low. And if the electrical resistivity is greater than 1000, means the corrosion index is negligible. So these are the, now come to the result and discussion section. We are coming with the compressive strength. So when we change the natural aggregates with the recycle aggregates, first when the stage is recycle aggregates, change with the fine category. Matlab, means if the natural fine aggregate is replaced with recycle fine aggregate, then the optimum replacement percentage is fine is 25% for the natural aggregates. And the highest compressive strength is given by the RFA 25%, which is 36.71 MPa, and the lowest compressive strength is given by the mixture RFA 100 plus RC 100 at the lowest, that is 19.73 MPa. Similarly, if we change the percentage with the coarse aggregates, the optimal replacement percentage is 50, and for the combination case, when the replacement is both fine plus as well as coarse, the replacement percentage optimal is 50%. This is the graph we have plotted for different mixtures like 1 to 13, where the different replacement percentage is considered. We can get this graph, and from the graph it is clearly visible that the red line, that is RFA 25%, is the highest compressive strength, and the RFA 100 plus RC 100 has the lowest compressive strength. Similarly, in this manner, we have tested the electrical resistivity to find out the durability criteria of the or the corrosion risk of the concrete samples. From here, we can say the electrical resistivity for increasing as we increase the recycle aggregate amount. When it is 25%, it is less, but when we increase the content of recycle aggregate in the concrete, the electrical resistivity is going loose. As the strength is decreasing, similar manner, the electrical resistivity play an important role. Similarly, we plot a graph for the electrical resistivity, and it is seen for different composition. Means like there are 4 mixtures which are under low risk of corrosion. By applying recycle aggregates, there are 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 mixtures which are under the moderate risk, and none of the mixture is under the high risk of corrosion. So the mixture totally mixture produced with the different recycle aggregate percentage have different showing different electrical resistivity as with respect to the replacement percentage. The first one is the RFA 25%, then it is RCA 25%, then it is RFA 25 plus RCA 25%. So these are the mixture which are come under the low risk of category. They can be recommended to any construction phase. So these are the conclusion or the key finding of our study. The result of the compressive test indicate concrete containing 25% of CND waste exhibit the highest compressive strength, that is 36.71 MPa, while the mix with 100% CND waste cox aggregate show the lowest compressive strength among all the mixture. The most optimal replacement percentage for CND waste aggregate are determined with the fine aggregate is 25%, for coarse aggregate is 50%, and for the combination with fine and coarse is 50%. The substitution of a CND waste aggregate in concrete is associated with the reduction of the resistivity, and which is therefore relative susceptibility to corrosion. And similarly, for concrete formulated with CND waste vinaigrette has a low risk of corrosion and the replacement percent up to 75%, transitioning to a modern risk at 100% replacement. Similarly, where in the case of concrete containing CND waste coarse aggregate, a low risk of corrosion is up to 50% replacement, while a moderate risk is at 75 and 100% replacement percentages. And at the last, when the concrete involving CND waste with the fine and coarse aggregate in a combined form, it exhibited low risk of corrosion up to a replacement percentage of 25%, and but these transition to a moderate risk at 50% and higher at a 100% replacement level. So these are our conclusion, or these are the findings, and these are the references which I have considered during our studies. And thank you very much. Any questions?
Any question? So when you prepare the sample of the different concentration, have you taken care of the design of experiment, or you have just randomly select the concentration?
Sir, can you please repeat the question? Your voice is little bit low. Can you please repeat the question?
My question is, when you have preparing the sample of the different concentration, and have you considered the design of experiment, or you have randomly select the?
Yes, sir. We have considered the design mix of M25 grades. Means as it is a very standard grade, because we have taken the recycle aggregate from the CND waste plant, which is located in Rani Kheda, and it is operated by DMRC projects, Delhi Metro Railway Corporation. So the whole construction waste, which is coming from DMRC, is got to be recycled there. And though the minimum compressive strength which are used by the DMRC project is M25. So we have based on M25, we have prepared these mixtures. All these mixtures are based on the M25 compressive strengths.
Okay. So in this, whatever the graph you have shown, it shows that you have only considered taking one set of sample to conduct the test. Have you repeated the set of samples, or you have just taken the one sample and tested and over?
Sir, we have taken samples only from derived from the CND waste. It's not like from different blocks. We have taken all the aggregates from one block itself. Means whatever the waste is producing, we have collected the complete amount of aggregates from the one outlet, you can say, from that particular point.
What is the repeatability of your data? Okay, you just prepare one sample or one drink, whatever you have prepared. What is the repeatability of your data? Either you have taken two samples for one set of composition, or only one sample for one set of composition. That is my question.
Repeatability, sir.
Yes.
I didn't get your question, sir, actually.
Yeah, I'm asking the repeatability of your data.
Data repeatability means in which term, sir?
Okay, I think you are not able to understand the question.
Yes, sir. I am not able to locate that thing.
Breaks from one set of composition that you have made. You have tested only one sample, or you have tested the same composition two samples?
No, sir. All the results will be based on when we have the compressive strength. So we have to test 3 samples, and the minimum of 3 will give the exact results. So we have taken that consider in our study. Definitely, we have make 3 sample of each mixtures, and after that, the final result will be based on 3 samples for each characteristic for each mixtures.
But here it is not showing you have taken 3 samples for each composition. It is showing you have only taken one sample for each composition.
No, sir. We have taken all the from all the mixture out of 13 total 13 samples. We have taken all the mixture with minimum 3 calculations. As as it is given in a standard form, that is the characteristic compressive strength is based on the minimum 3 samples. So that's why we have taken all mixtures with the standard methods.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the next paper, paper ID 6. Are you online? I repeat, paper ID 6. Paper ID 6. Are you online? If yes, please respond.
Paper ID 6, are you there? Paper ID 6, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are now audible. You would like to present your paper now?
Okay, sir.
Okay, after paper ID 6, Ms. Mamti Devi, you have to present. So please be ready. Mamti Devi, are you there? Mamti Devi?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
please be ready. Okay. Now paper ID 6, please start.
Okay, sir. My problem is the topic of my research paper is performance optimization of Python for rotor with variable pitch purpose. Today I'm going to discuss about the introduction, objectives, methodology, and what boundary conditions I have used and what the step solver and simulations I have used to analyze my problem statement. And further we will discuss about the results and discussion and the conclusion and future work. Introduction. The UAV industry is projected to experience rapid growth, driven by the increasing demand for unmanned aerial vehicles due to their versatility.
Properly.
What, sir?
The voice is not audible clearly.
Can you hear me, sir? Hello? Sir, am I audible to you? Hello? Sir, am I audible?
You are audible. Please continue.
Okay. Sir, can I continue?
You can continue.
Okay. Okay. Our research dwells into the multifaceted aspects of UAV technology and its impact across various fields, including aerial photography, surveillance, agriculture, environmental monitoring, and search and rescue. We aim to explore how UAVs are shaping the future of modern society by leveraging their advantages over recent advancements in technology have led to the development of various UAV concepts, such as tail features, tail rotors, and span design. However, our research focus on addressing the need for a more efficient, compatible, and cost-effective UAV configuration. This has led to the development of biplane quadrotor. A novel design that utilizes two wings to provide lift in forward cycles, while the rotor and less work by varying RPM to produce differential. It means that our aircraft can take off like a helicopter, and after changing the motor thrust, we can convert it into aircraft. After the extensive research and experimentation, including wind tunnel testing, have been conducted to produce differential research. So, from the University of Maryland College Park to explore the potential of quadrotor pattern concept, the literature review highlights previous research findings on quadcopter efficiency and optimization. With a focus on two main areas, variable pitch propellers and wing design instruments, previous studies have demonstrated that tilting motors at 10-degree angles, variable pitch propellers result in positive outcome during wind tunnel testing and simplifying vehicle control. Next, moving on to the problem description. The problem we are tackling is about the finding the best design for unmanned aerial vehicles, which are becoming increasingly popular. These UAVs offer many benefits over traditional manned aircraft, like being safer and more cost-effective. With technology advancing rapidly, there is a lot of experimentation with different designs like tail features and tail rotors. But there is still room for improvement and innovation. That's where the idea of biplane quadrotor comes in. It's a new concept that combines the best of the both worlds, using wings and rotors together to make the UAV more efficient and cheaper to operate.
Hello?
The objective, yes,
Sir?
ma'am?
Yes, we are not
Am I audible,
supposed
ma'am?
to, pardon, can you please hear us out? You cannot just read the slide. You're supposed to represent your slides.
Okay, ma'am.
So please
Actually,
not.
the problem description, what we have been facing nowadays is that there are a lot of UAVs in the world, but they are not most effective. It means that they are not having good range and endurance and their CL and CD values. So what we have done is that after doing a lot of research on wings and operator, we have both integrated the wings and motors together, which can further increase the efficiency compared to the traditional UAVs in the market. The objectives of the research are to investigate the efficiency and performance of the biplane quarter and assess the feasibility of using variable pitch propellers for optimization. And what we have done in this is that when we are vertically taking off an UAV, we are converting into like aircraft. How we are doing is that, ma'am, we have tilted the motor in 10 degrees angle, which will be very useful while controlling into forward motion. So the pilot, it will be very helpful for the pilot. Next one, methodology. In methodology, we have divided into three parts. First one is design part, second one is analyzing the part, and third one is the testing part. In the first part, pre-processing, we have designed the biplane wings with the help of AdtU and AdtU software, which helps to know how the good design will be. And in the second, we have implemented some boundary conditions and different airflow parameters, which we can get the more efficient parameters like how good will be the range, how good it will be the endurance, and how it can sustain and survive in different obstacles. And second one, we have used the computation of fluid dynamics like CFD software. In the CFD software, we can predict the aerodynamic behavior. In aerodynamic behavior, it could be like coefficient of lift, coefficient of drag, pitching movement, angle of attack, different airflows, how the UAV can change its direction as well as a different airflow on that. And after that, we have done wind tunnel testing. In the wind tunnel testing, we have got to know about how the pitch propellers can increase the thrust when there is a different pitch angle handling. And after post-processing, analyze results to optimize UAV performance and validate propeller design. And these are the conceptual wind designs of our project. The first one is a single wing, which we have first decided. After that, we have added with a two bars. This is called as a biplane wing one. In between the biplane wing, we are attaching a quad rotor. Ma'am, this is the AutoCAD and CATIA design. In the first figure 3, we can see the how side view stepping analysis of these are the two view and bottom view, and this is the whole quadcopter view. And ma'am, this is our final design, ma'am. Biplane quadcopter. This is called the biplane quad rotor. It is having 2 wings and 4 propellers. Next, moving on to the boundary conditions, ma'am. The first parameter is inlet velocity of air. The inlet velocity which we have given you can see in figure number 7, what the input and output boundary conditions are. The input boundary conditions first inlet velocity is 15 meters per second, and the static pressure at outlet is 1 bar. And pressure streams are given. Coefficient of drag is 0.61 and coefficient of pressure is 0.0. And in the figure 7, you can see the input and boundary conditions. Figure 8, you can see the pressure concept of fault. How the pressure varies when it interacts with the body of the quarter, how the propellers can change their aerodynamic behavior when there is a high pressure. It could be static pressure, it could be dynamic pressure. But what we are assuming is that all pressures are static. Now, this is a graph of coefficient of lift and coefficient of drag. So you can see that in figure number 14, the coefficient of lift is highly increasing after on lot of iterations on that in CFD software. And in figure number 15, you can see the coefficient of drag. There is a simple constant coefficient of drag in biplane phototrophon. It can show that there will be a decrease in drag when it is when the UAV is in air. And coming on to the results and discussion now. Like this is the most important thing in which you got to know how good will be the efficiency of the UAVs based on the thrust versus RPM, power versus RPM, and thrust required speed, inflow velocity. You can see now thrust versus motor RPM when there is an increase in motor RPM, thrust of the motors are increasing. It means that there will be a lot, so there is less power consumption. When the aircraft is in biplane configuration, it means like the aircraft is moving like an aircraft. When the aircraft is taking vertical takeoff like a helicopter, it's consuming a lot of power. In figure number 15, in figure number 19, figure number 20, you can see how the thrust and RPM changes when there is an inlet velocity 15 meter per second, 5 meter per second, 10 meter per second, and 15 meter per second at a pitch angle of 10 degrees. It means it's trying to tell you is just when the motor is 10 degrees angle and the inlet velocity is 5 meters, 10 meters, or 15 meters per second, how the power consumption can a motor can how much power a motor can consume. Results and discussion. For data comparison, figure number 19, figure number 20 depict data comparing thrust to RPM, power to thrust varying free stream velocity for a frequency of 10 degrees, 10.2 degrees. Number the observation of thrust reduction, as the free stream airspeed increases, there is a decrease in thrust reduction at similar RPM. For instance, the 2000 RPM, 3 Newton of force is generated at inlet velocity is equal to 7 meters per second, while only 1.5 Newtons of force is generated at inlet velocity 10 meters per second. Relationship between power and thrust. The decrease in the slope of the power was a thrust point of for increasing friction airspeed indicates that for a given increase in power, less thrust is produced at higher airspeed. It means that when the airspeed is very high, the biplane consumes only less thrust. It means that the motor has to produce only less thrust. And after that, the wings will generate the lift. It means that we are increasing it means that it can increase the efficiency when the aircraft is high altitude. Focus on higher friction airspeed. There was a specific invention exploring the relationship between variable pitch propeller and drag explained by the vehicle, particularly higher friction airspeed. Estimation of vehicle drag. Vehicle drag was estimated using design methods outlined in reference, considering various drag sources including body drag and injury drag.
Hello? Hello? The presentation is over? Hello, your presentation is over?
Next, Dr. ID 95, you may kindly take the time. Hello, am I audible? Do we have Dr. ID 95 person here?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Dr. ID 6, you are audible. Dr. ID 6, are you done with the presentation? Since there's no response from paper ID6, I give time to Mampi Devi first for her presentation. Mampi Devi, are you present here? You may kindly start with the presentation.
I'm sharing my screen shortly. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Good afternoon, respected all the delegates and every faculty members presented here. My name is Mampi Devi, and I'm a research scholar from the Computer Science and Engineering Department from Assam Downtown University under the guidance of Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma sir. And today I am presenting a paper, Cluster Visualization Using Voice, Enhancing Health Status Checkup. ID number is 95. And my co-authors are respected Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma sir and Dr. Aniruddha Deka sir from the Assam Downtown University. Table of contents in my papers are introduction, problem description, objective, dataset description, methodology, results discussion, conclusion, and future scope. Introduction part, health status involve comprehensive evaluation of various aspects of an individual's health, including physical, mental, emotional well-being. And these checkups may include assessments such as medical history, reviews, physical examination, laboratory tests, screening, specific health condition, etc. And they serve as a proactive approach to healthcare, allowing healthcare providers to detect any underlying health issues before escalate into more significant problems. And the human voice being a reflection of various physiological or psychological factors has garnered a significant attention as an indicator of an individual's health status too. And speech encompasses various linguistic levels from the articulation of individual phonemes to the construction of complex sentences. And here I am using the clustering technique because the clustering is actually done for grouping and also can be done for the data segmentation in some applications, because clustering partitions on large data sets into groups according to their dissimilarity or similarity levels. And clustering can also be used in outlier detection also. And that's why I am using this clustering technique. And cluster analysis is widely used in the fields like medical diagnosis nowadays, and biology, mining of text, image processing, and pattern recognition. And here I am doing the pattern recognition, usually speech pattern recognition. That's why I'm using the clustering technique. And the problem descriptions are limited access to healthcare services, healthcare infrastructure, transportation barriers in some rural areas, then health disparities, and some challenges of the systems are efficiency, then accuracy, accessibility, and convenience. So if we say about the if we elaborate the problems, then we can say in rural areas often we have fewer healthcare facilities and healthcare providers and medical specialists compared to the urban areas. And then if we say about the healthcare infrastructure, then rural areas may lack of adequate healthcare infrastructure, including hospitals, clinics, or medical equipments. And then transportation barriers is the most important factor in rural areas that can make it difficult for the residents to access healthcare services immediately, particularly for those who live far from the medical facilities. And has health disparities, like rural population often experience health disparities compared to urban populations, including higher rates of chronic disease or lower life expectancy and poor overall health outcomes. And challenges in our system is the efficiency, which is voice-based systems can streamline this the checkup process, allowing the patients to provide information quickly and easily without the need for pen and paper. And this can save some time for both the patients and the healthcare providers. And then in case of accuracy, voice recognition technology has advanced significantly in leading to the more accurate transcription of the spoken information. And in case of accessibility, that is the voice-based systems can be more accessible for patients with disabilities or those who have difficulty in reading or writing. And in terms of convenience, we can say patients can complete health status checkup from the comfort of their own homes or on the go if they are over their smartphones or other devices like that. Then the objectives in our systems are the primary objective actually in our research to introduce a comprehensive framework for health status assessment for sustainable development by analyzing and clustering the speech patterns of the individuals. And we have focused on 3 linguistic levels: vowels, words, and sentences. Vowels and consonants are only for the testing. Then we have finally done our research on the words and the sentences. And accessibility, then cost effectiveness, and data analytics, empowerment, and environmental sustainability are the main objectives in this research. So accessibility, we consider the voice-based solutions, particularly in distant and underdevelopment locations, can reach individuals with limited access to traditional healthcare services. And in terms of cost effectiveness, by reducing the need for in-person consultants, and voice-based health have the potential to lower the healthcare delivery cost. And in terms of data analytics, we can say the healthcare professionals can discover health hazards at the population level by analyzing the patterns and trends derived from the collection of speech data from people. And in terms of empowerment, we can say that offering some easy tools for self-assessment and monitoring, voice-based health checks enable people to take control of their health. And environmental sustainability, where voice-based health inspections can assist reduce transportation-related carbon emissions by minimizing the need for actual travel to the healthcare facilities, where it may be possible over the phone or other devices, and also reduces the uses of papers. And in terms of dataset description, we have 2 datasets. For the first dataset, we have taken one Assamese word in 3 different pieces. It means val means it means good, and we have collected total from 205 people, total 615 utterances. And for the second database, we have collected 3 sentences. One means feeling good, one means not feeling good, and one means feeling bad. That means how is the person feeling, and the utterances in Assamese language. And from 102 people, and total 306 utterances are there. And before that, we have tested with the 11 Assamese vowels and other the consonants of the Assamese language from 5 people. The total 55 utterances were there. And PRAT software we have used for recording, and put the microphone 22,500 hertz modulation we have used for recording purpose. And then we have collected some speech features from the samples. That means the speech samples we have collected some speech features like MFCC, HFCC, MELBS, HFBS, STFT, Mel spectrum modulation energy, zero crossing ratio, and PLP, etc. And then we have done the fissure reduction technique to reduce the fissures, because initially we have taken almost 30 fissures, and but from the 30 fissures, it is difficult to properly clustering of the data, and therefore we have used the fissure reduction technique, where we have found these important PCA fissures. And after that, we have also did some fusion of fissures and combined some fissures. And after and we have did this after doing some literature survey, and we found in most of the papers what are the main fissures or fusion for doing the fusioning of the species fissures. And we observed that MFCC is common in every fusion of fissures, but zero crossing ratio is also used in many of the fissures, but they have not combined some other fissures like spectrum or format bandwidth frequency, PLPs. These coefficients they have not used for fusion of species fissures. So we decided to do the fusioning of these fissures, and we have succeed to develop some new novel fissures. And these are the CSV. This is the CSV format of the fusion fissure set. After that, we have found this data set, and these are also some CSV format of the our tested Vowel data set and recording of the other data set. This is the process model architecture in our system. And then the methodology part. And in our methodology, it involves collection of the speech samples from the diverse group of individuals, each with varying health status. We extracted then linguistic features from the speech data samples encompassing phonetic information, prosodic cues. Simultaneously, we capture vocal features such as speech, amplitude, and other features. And then we did the clustering algorithms. We organized these multi-dimensional feature sets into clusters that reveal shared speech and voice among the individuals with similar health status. And then first we tested the clustering techniques on the vowels and consonants of the Assamese language. Then we applied clustering in proper way on the reduced feature set of both the datasets for getting the clusters. And we selected clustering for 3 clusters in the first and the second also, because in the first, the vowel, that means the vowel word, which means good, was recorded with 3 different pitches. And then we applied the same for the second dataset also, because in that dataset also there were 3 sentences recorded from different regions of the Assam and from Assamese people. Then we have most important thing for the clustering, we used k-means and spectral clustering to unsupervised machine learning algorithms to implement on each of the 2 datasets individually with different sets of features at different time. And at last, we compared our clustering results with the Kaggle dataset clustering. And that Kaggle dataset also consists of some similar speech features that are used in our research.
Hello, Poppy.
Yes, sir.
Hello. So your time is almost over. Okay. So please come to your chapter.
So this is the Kaggle dataset speech features, and these are the some cluster visualizations that we have found after the clustering done. And we have used 3 measuring cluster accuracy tools: Silhouette coefficients, cohesion, and separation. And from the tables, we found that the results obtained with the features before fusion is poor than the fusion with the fusion features with the clustering algorithms are better. And when we have compared in the final, and this is the final table, and this here only the fusion features are there, and clustering is done for the two datasets, including the tested dataset vowels and the Kaggle dataset of the speech features. And here observe the red, these are the for the Kaggle dataset, which are colored with red. That means the where the clustering accuracies are poor, then the other our accuracies, that means the dataset 1 and dataset 2 and the tested vowel datasets, these are better accuracies we have found. So in conclusion, we can say that clustering visualization of the vowels, words, and sentences holds promise as an innovation for the health status assessment. And from the tables, we have come to the conclusion that fusion of features are giving better results than that of the results without fusion. And fusion of some my particular features like first, third, and fifth fusion features are giving better results than that of the other two features. And overall, we can say that voice-based technologies into healthcare systems can contribute to sustainable development, improving healthcare access, efficiency, and effectiveness. And we did this research for Assamese-speaking people from different regions of Assam and successful to achieve some good quality clusters for both the labeled dataset mentioned vowels or consonants and unlabeled datasets like my dataset 1 and dataset 2. And future scopes are there many ways, because future scope in this area of research can be done for people living in rural remote areas where transportation is not easy. And further research and innovation in this area have the potential to significantly impact the healthcare industry and individual wellness. And these are some references used in our research. Thank you. Is there any questions?
Any questions from the audience? So moving ahead, if Dr. Myers have any questions. Thank you.
May I leave, ma'am? Is there any question?
You can close this slide. There is no question from the audience. Panikhaiti, thank you for the presentation. You may close your slide. Hello, Malpi, you can close your slides. Thank you, and there is no question from our end.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on, paper ID 6. Paper ID 6. Please respond if you hear.
Ma'am, do I need to start from again, ma'am? From starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please resume from where you left.
Ma'am, before that, I have completed results and discussion, ma'am. Due to some technical issues, it has disconnected. Do I need to start from introduction or do I need to start where I got resume? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Hello.
Ma'am?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. So, basically, working on quadcopter, right?
Yes, sir, we are working on quadcopter.
So, what is the innovative part or what is the new part you are adding to the quadcopter? Can you go to the diagram, please?
Diagram. Yes, sir, this is the diagram.
Okay.
So
Good
this is a,
question.
so this is a pipeline, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so below the quadcopter wings, so there are two strips. These are metal strips or some composite strips?
Sir, it's a plastic, so it's a composite plastic.
Okay, so that will make more balance to your quadcopter, right? Mechanically,
Yes, sir.
it
Sir,
stabilize.
it's a composite material having a good stability.
But in your objective, you mentioned was point that it will try to reduce the power consumption. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So while you are putting to my plastic strip, obviously the weight of the device may be increased. Weight means it's the particular empty weight of the vehicle or quadcopter may increase, right?
Yes, sir. It's a quadcopter.
So can it be possible that you can manage the battery power in that particular scenario?
Yes, sir, it is possible. We are actually connecting the servos to the wing so that with the help of controlling system, we can convert the directions of both quadcopter and wing.
Yeah, I can find out your direction will be unstable. Okay. Yeah, I can find it mechanically. It will be a very good one, but from the electrical control point of view, I think it will consume more amount of power compared to the previous one, or the normal quadcopter without the battery.
Actually, so your voice is unclear, sir.
Okay, so my opinion is, or my viewpoint is something like that. With this pipeline, there may be some possibility in giving you more energy.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So we have already done a prototype on this. Hello.
Paper ID6, you are done for the presentation.
Okay,
Thank
again,
you.
ma'am.
Pause your slide. With this, we have come to the end of the presentation 6. After a break of 45 minutes, we will be resuming the plenary talk. So please come back to auditorium 2.
No problem at all. No problem. Straight way. Let's go. তাৰমানে ছাৰ এই বহুত কিবা কিবি এক্সট্ৰা হেৰি দিছে কেম্পাছ কিবা অমুক গেছ বিলাক এই চব এনেকৈ দৌৰিয়ে আছো মানে এই কেম্পাছটো পইচা দিয়ে এইবিলাক পঢ়াব লাগে এইবিলাক মানে অলপ মানে দৌৰা মেলা মোৰ আছে ভাগত গণিতৰ পিছত দাসৰ আছিলে হা এই আমাৰ শ্যামন্ত মানে আছে দিগন্ত দাসৰ আছে ইয়াতে নাই আমাৰ আপুনি আহি পাব মই তোমাক হেৰি নম্বৰটো দিছো তুমি টাইম আছে দিয়ক প্ৰব্লেম নাই আহকচোন নহ'লেতো আমি কৰি দিবই লাগিব বাৰু ঠিক আছে আপুনি আহি কৰিব লাগিব এই হাজৰিকাত চাই ল'ব মই ইয়াতে বনাবলৈ কিয় online na salto 5 minute yo second se sole hai call karo apni next mobile par hello sir.
Hello.
Am I audible, sir? Right.
I can hear you. Yes, not very clear. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Excellent. Thank you.
So, sir, give us 5 minutes.
Sure. Yes, that's fine. I'm just here. Let me know when you want me in the call.
Right, sir.
Dr. Diganto Pidas, firstly, I would like to ask, am I audible to you, sir? Hello? Sir, can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the response. Yes, we can see and hear you as well clearly. Before you begin with your primary talk, sir, I would like to give a small intro about you to the audience present. Dr. Diganto Das, sir, a distinguished academic and researcher hailing from Assam, India, is a reader in forest media at Dispur University. After earning his bachelor's in chemical engineering from Rajasthan University in 1996 and a PhD from Dispur University in 2001. He undertook postdoctoral roles at Delft University of Technology and Princeton University. Dr. Das served as a departmental lecturer at the University of Oxford from 2003 to 2007 before joining Dispur University. Currently, he holds key roles as deputy lead for the Changing Environment and Infrastructure Global Challenge and lead of the research team in environmental technology with CEI. Additionally, he serves as a postgraduate research champion in chemical engineering. Dr. Das is an accomplished educator specializing in courses like environmental pollution control, fluid mechanics, and drug delivery process. His research spans diverse course, medium topics leading multidisciplinary projects on fluid dynamics, membrane water treatment, and CO2 capture. Beyond academia, Dr. Das contributes actively to the engineering community, serving on the Newton Funds Engineering Panel and chairing the International Water Association Specialist Group. Recognized for his contributions, he received the AdtU Fellowship in 2019 and the Best Paper Award at the Interpol UK Chapter Meeting in 2016. Dr. Das's legacy is evident through over 115 peer-reviewed publications and leadership in forest media research, environmental technology, and engineering education. Without further delay, I would hand over the dais to Dr. Das, and he can start his talk. Sir, you can start.
Shall I? Thank you for the very extensive introduction. I'll try and share my screen. And then I'll take things from there. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen, sir.
Okay. Let me see. I'll try and do a slideshow. And then, okay, can you still see my screen?
You can see your screen, sir.
Excellent. Okay, all right. Thank you again for the introduction and indeed the invitation to talk in your conference. Very pleased that Sunandan actually invited me. You know, one of the things you missed out in my presentation is that I am from Assam and I'm actually from Bongaigaon. So I grew up in Bongaigaon and I studied in Goalpara College and then I came to Jaipur. So anytime I get an invitation to talk in any conference in Assam or in India, I get very excited. I'd never miss an opportunity to come and attend conference in any form or shape. So your conference is obviously, is dealing with sustainable development, and that's something that interests me a lot. All of my work, although they are dealing with some form of porous materials, and I'll explain that a little bit. The ultimate goal or the research goal or the motivation is sustainable development in some form. So what I do in my research area is I divide porous media into two broad classification. One classification I deal with biological and health related problems. And then the other part, 50% of my research activity, they deal with non-biological or non-biomedical problems such as environmental contaminations, chemical engineering problems, so and so forth. The underlying connection I have, which I'll explain you in a bit, is that I use particles and porous material, sort of void space, so and so forth. So that's what I do. So in this case, for today, I'm just going to discuss non-biological problems dealing with water contamination and so forth, because it is such a big issue in Assam. So Assam obviously has lots of water, and this is just a picture from some pictures from one of my books, just to point out that civilization historically, if you look at what has happened, all the civilizations have developed and grown near water. Obviously, we need water, and that obviously implies that water, how significant it is for us for development. We are talking about sustainable development at this time, but if you just think of development as a process, water is really key for our growth and development, and that is really why you see large civilizations growing near water. All these pictures are from different parts of India, Rajasthan, for example, where I studied, and so forth. The problem obviously is because there is imbalance in what is available in terms of water and what we can use. So the availability and the demand, there is a very clear imbalance, and that's where one of the problems is, and that's why we need sustainable development. We need development, but we need to have that balance between what we have and what we need. So the resource utilization, the energy efficiency, availability, the materials perspective, and how well we can achieve circularity or reuse some of these materials are really important. And if we can achieve those things, we will achieve sustainable development. And just to make that point again, if you look at this map, it tells us the demand for clean water. And Assam, if you look at the Assam map, it says economic water scarcity. What that means is that there is obviously lots of water in Assam. Brahmaputra is there, lots of tributaries are there. But if you look at clean water, the demand for clean water, the economic production of clean water is still not possible in Assam and in many parts of the world. So that's what you see in that map. And that's one of the reasons we need sustainable development. Resource efficiency, economic production, related to health, so and so forth, circularity of materials. And that's the reason we need sustainable development. I don't know the background in the audience. It's always nice to actually come in person and interact with the audience and know a bit of background, but that's not going to be possible today. But I hope that you follow whatever I'm saying. So I'm not going to be very technical. All I want to do is give some motivations for upcoming students, upcoming researchers, so that you can take up some of these problems and challenges for your own work. Now, obviously, to reach sustainable development in the water sector, so clean water production is one of the aims of sustainable development goal. So UN's SDG 6 relates to clean water production, and we need infrastructure for that. How are you going to achieve clean water without having any infrastructures or plant or devices? You need something. And this is the most common example, what you see in my slides there. These are hand pumps from all different parts of world. You see that they look different, the colors are different, they have different shapes and size, but they all try to achieve the same thing, provide clean water for human beings. But environment is contaminated, there is arsenic there are other contaminants, metals, other toxic compounds, they're there. So obviously, hand pumps are there, but we need more advanced technologies to reach sustainable goals. So that's what I do. But what specifically I do in my research area is I exploit porous materials. That's what you see. Porous materials are basically materials with large interconnected spaces or interconnected voids. That's what you see in the pictures there. So membranes, and there are other kinds of columns, porous columns, and so forth. So we can exploit these materials. So if you're able to control or manufacture materials with well-defined pore morphology, then you can achieve certain functions for these porous materials. And these porous materials then can be used to achieve sustainable goals or any other goals that you might have. But as we progress in our research area, we have to bring in lots of other aspects. For example, autonomy and autonomous systems, digital engineering, circularity, and so forth. So traditional porous media topics have advanced quite a lot now, and we are trying to bring in a lot of digital technologies, automation, and so forth. I'm not going to talk about those things. There would be really research presentation, but I hope what I give you today gives at least motivates you to take up some of those things yourself. So I want to give you two examples just to motivate you again, one from membrane-based system, and the other one is called permeable reactive barrier. Remember, my background is in chemical engineering, so I bring in some of my chemical engineering background in both of these aspects. So membrane-based systems are typically smaller scale, porous media applications. You'd see them in chemical plant, water treatment companies, and perhaps in household level. Whereas if you look at permeable reactive barrier, these are large scale reactor, a very large scale. You are trying to treat groundwater, perhaps arsenic or other water contamination. So these are large scale subsurface technologies involving porous materials. So I want to give you some examples of that, and I hope that interests you in what I do. So membranes for water treatment is very commonly used. Desalination is a good example, but also water treatment, removing molecules from water is really important. These are large scale membrane system in a water treatment plant. So the idea really is to remove some of these contaminants. So there is a bit of echo coming. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So so this was a project we did in India, in Tamil Nadu. The problem was coming from trees. It is natural organic matter, because in autumn all the leaves fall down. They look nice, but this tree produces acid particles. When the tree rots in water, they produce contaminants and humic acid particulates, and this humic acid gets into the drinking water. So we developed these membranes to remove humic acid for drinking water purpose. So what you basically see in this microscope picture is sort of rotten tree leaves into microscopic form. So that's what you see there, and it also produces lots of microbiological compounds. I'm not going to discuss that, but microbiological compounds is present, and we need to deal with them as well. So in terms of what we did is that we need to prepare this membrane. So these are typical small particles, typically in microfiltration, micron scale particles. So we prepare these membranes. The idea is that somehow we can create these pores using polymers. So we have some particles locally available, clay particles. Those clay particles are dispersed using ultrasonication. So ultrasonication is a form of energy and gives you the energy to disperse particles in a suspended form in a diluting media. And this diluting media is then mixed with polymer blend. And then we blend them again and at a certain temperature, and then we cast. So we prepare thin membranes. So there is a lot of trial and error that goes into this preparation method, and then finally you achieve this membrane. So preparing these membranes with a certain pore morphology, keeping your contaminants in mind is really important. So that's what we did. This was funded by a Newton project. Now, when you prepare these membranes, controlling the fouling is really important. So we prepare anti-foulant membrane, and these are smart membranes. So controlling the surface, the nature of the surface is important. Hydrophilicity, hydrophobicity. So we make them slippery in a way so that there is less foulant on the membrane without affecting the filtration capacity. So if you are making membranes, you have to ensure that they have got certain characteristics. Now, once you make the membrane, which is what we did, we then need a system, like a vessel, if you like. And in the vessel, we have to bring the contaminated water and the membrane in contact. And how you bring the two things in contact is really important, because the contact determines how much fouling is there, how much flux you get, how much filtration you get, so and so forth. So we have to measure them. So we actually develop these processes ourselves. So as a chemical engineer, we would develop processes depending on the membrane and so forth. So in this case, we use a concept called circular flow system or a hybrid filtration system. What that means is that water circulates on top of the membrane. It doesn't go through the membrane directly. It circulates on top of the membrane, and that eliminates the fouling on top of the membrane. And that helps the filtration capacity of the membrane, but it also means in terms of energy efficiency, the processes are better than some of the other membranes where there is no circulation. So we have shown that these are more energy efficient. And if you see on this picture, this is what you see. You have got a lot of foulant depositing on the membrane. You don't want them, but it is inevitable and we have to have them. Let me pass through that. So we prepare these membranes. So this combination of the membrane and the process development is important, and that helps us to clean water. So in this case, humic acid. And we develop the control system. In reality, we will not be able to do everything by hand. We need to have sensors that allows us to measure different parameters, but we also have to control what is going on. So a system that is fully controlled by human, it's not possible anymore. So we have to have autonomous system, but control sensors, actuators. So all of those things help us to develop these systems. And what you see on this graph are some data how the volume in the tank that's contaminated water is changing with time, and how, for example, the pressure across TMP is the transmembrane pressure, how it changes, and the flux, and so forth, how it changes with time. In terms of what we are aiming to achieve is a steady state flux, so that provides us a continuous filtration from the system. And eventually what we try to do, once we understand this, we try and develop. So that was an experimental rig. And once we have understood the system, we can develop prototypes for actual field implementation. And what you practically see here is a device that can be implemented or installed outside the lab setup. And as I was mentioning before, the key aspect here is that we try and achieve flow circulation on top of the membrane. And how we do that is we have these flow channels there. That's what you see. So we have got number of flow channels, and this flow channels allows water to circulate on top of the membrane and bring the contact between the membrane and the fluid well, so that we can achieve a certain flux or a certain flow rate through the membrane system. So we are taking this forward. We have got one project going on. It has been extended now because of COVID. It's finishing in March next year. The idea is that how can you ensure the security of this system, water security, and so on and so forth. If you think of sensors, can you incorporate modeling of the sensors, sensor behavior, as well as chemical engineering modeling? We call it process modeling. How can we combine modeling from two different domains to ensure that it is a more secured system for the future? It is a conceptual project that we have been running. It's not published yet, but the results are not published yet, but that is the main idea. It's called cyber physical system. So CPS has been attempted in lots of other domains. For example, transport sector in aeroplanes, outer space flights, and so on and so forth. So CPS concept has been implemented in other domains, but not so much in the water domain. So we are trying to bring or borrow that concept into water treatment systems as well, and in particular membrane. The idea is that in the future we can achieve more, we can achieve water security as well. So as well as achieving sustainable development, we have to ensure that the system is secured, it's not hacked, and anything else that's happened there, we can monitor and understand the system well. So that's the path we are taking at the moment. And I'm very interested in future collaborations in water security. So any idea you have or possibilities, let us know. The other example I wanted to talk briefly is a permeable reactive barrier. So this is really chemical engineering topic. We bring in a lot of reaction engineering, but I'm not going to talk much about chemical reaction engineering. I want to give you a broad idea of what the topic is about. So we have to integrate geohydrology, subsurface hydrology, subsurface topics such as flow in groundwater, and combine reaction engineering to develop reactors like this for treating contaminated water. So groundwater obviously is contaminated, and it flows, as you see, because of the natural hydraulic gradient. And what we try to do is put these reactors, that's the concept, we put these reactors in front of the groundwater flow path so that it flows. As it flows through the reactor, the contaminants are also treated. So it is designed in a way that it is not an obstruction for the groundwater. You have to adapt. If you think of permeability, the permeability of the reactor has to be the same as the permeability of the soil. So it has to be designed in that way. So the hydraulic gradient is the same as the surrounding soil, but we have a reactor that is placed in front of the groundwater. And it is a porous media system, and the idea is that it is energy efficient. There is no pumping required. It's an energy efficient system and help achieve clean groundwater. So the design of this obviously depends on the selection of the material. So there are some materials called zero valent iron, then and there are other materials as well. Biochar is being used, carbonaceous material. There are lots of other materials that are being used to design a permeable reactive barrier. So the selection of the material for a particular contaminant is really important. And then once you have selected the material, then we can develop at the lab scale, we can carry out large experiment or small scale experiment to see how the material is behaving. And once you have tested those, you can then install those reactors into subsurface. One of the key things of permeable reactive barrier is that the ground level has to be quite shallow, and also it creates issues if there is a lot of changes in the groundwater level, flooding and things like that. And I'm assuming that is one of the reason in India and in particular Assam, I haven't come across field installation of PRB. That's something that perhaps in some needs to be explored a bit. But in UK, it is used quite a lot. If you come to UK, Heathrow has a PRB somewhere to treat contaminants from the flight, landing and taking off, so and so forth. So these are passive technologies using porous materials. So the key point here is that the preparation of the particles, hopefully in a sustainable way, and then the process development is really key. And what you see in the slide there, you have got contaminated water, some large scale or big scale experiment to understand how those materials behave. Now, what we tend to do, the idea is that we should be able to design this bed of particles in some way. So the internal structure, the pore morphology is really important because it allows the water to flow through the porous material. So the internal morphology structure is important. Then also it has to allow reactions, the remediation reactions to take place. The contact between the fluid and the particles is important because that allows the immobilization or the remediation of the contaminants. One of the key problems of this is that I think I'm almost done in terms of time, and a couple of minutes, is that the permeability of the porous material decreases quite a lot because there is contaminants being deposited inside the pore structures. So there is permeability decline. So one of the main issues of PRBs is to understand how the permeability declines and how you can control them. So there are a lot of digital technologies that can be used. For example, sensors, monitoring the performance of the PRB on a regular basis so that you know when permeability declines significantly, you can regenerate these PRBs and do something about it. Because if it fails, these are big, large-scale projects, then you cannot, it becomes more difficult to rejuvenate these systems. So permeability decline is a big, big problem. So these are some lab data as a function of time. It basically provides that confirmation that permeability goes down. If you go from 0 towards time 72, we see that the permeability broadly, it decreases along the axis. Now, one of the key problems of PRB is that it is difficult to model the system. We understand in the ideal condition, it is sort of an ideal reactor, but as soon as you put it in the subsurface, there are so many mechanisms going on that using a physically based model, it is very, very difficult to understand or model the system. We have data, we understand what parameters to collect, we understand broadly how it behaves, but it's difficult to model them. So one of the things we are trying to do, or we have done, these are all published, is instead of trying to model physically, sort of mathematically modeling, we have collected the data and tried to develop artificial intelligence model, AI models. So it tells us how the system is behaving, but importantly, quickly, it allows us to monitor and make sense of the performance of this bioreactor. And if you put a lot of sensors, you get a lot of data, and the more data you get, you can use artificial intelligence to keep monitoring and keep increasing the knowledge of those systems. So we have done some AI modeling of these reactors as well. So what you see on the slide is two ANN structures. So I don't know how much you know about ANN. So ANN are basically mimic the human brain. So you have neurons. As two, you have got neurons in the middle, a layer of input data. These are the independent variable. So these are the main key parameters, some hidden layer of neurons, and an output. So one is a single hidden layer structures, the top figure, and then in the bottom of diagram shows two hidden layer. And so this tells us what structures we developed and what was the best ANN structures. So these two structures can mimic our experimental results the best. So in terms of conclusion, I hope I was able to give you some examples of porous media applications where you take particles, develop some porous media systems, and use this porous media system to achieve clean water or cleaner water, and that also helps to meet sustainable development goal. But the main idea of the talk is really to make you interested in these porous media applications, and hopefully in your future work, in your studies, or in your research, you take up some of these problems for further studies. And at that point, I think I'll stop, and I'm very happy to take any questions or comments or anything else that you might have. Thank you.
Questions regarding. Thank you,
Sorry.
sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Thank you,
Please
sir,
go ahead.
I'm sure this will help us in future prospect. Thank you. Anyone has any questions regarding this session?
Is there any possibility for having multiple membranes in order to reduce the coagulation of these particles? Will that help? And are there any studies that have been undertaken?
Coagulation, we looked at. I used to work with NIRI before, NIRI Jaipur lab, and we used to look at, we designed large scale wastewater treatment plant in Pali, Jaipur, Pali area. So we had a lot of issues with coagulation there, and typically we used to add a sort of anticoagulant agent, because obviously if you're looking at filtration as a system, the particles, if they are coagulated, if you have large lump of particles, they are going to create problems with your process. So typically we used to use anticoagulant agents. So one system is not going to work. So we have to use combination of system and ensuring that the anticoagulant agent does the work. You have particles in suspension, and they don't deposit in the subsequent. And it's not just the separation. if you have a lot of coagulation, you have got blocked in plant, you have got pipes, bent pipes, 90-degree angle, 45-degree angles. So you'd have particles depositing as water passes through. So coagulation is not a good thing anyway. So we must try and avoid them. But just one system may not be able to do the work for you, I would think.
Hello, sir. Yeah, this
Hello.
is KJL and Rao from Assam University Engineering. Well,
Hello.
very nice presentation, sir. Thank you so much. It is in fact a very inspiring to all of our students as well. I'm sure they will have a good kind of knowledge from whatever you have delivered in the keynote. I'm sure they'll all be inspired from your talk and as well as the kind of information you have shared must probably put their spirits very high. Well, the topic of porous media is also close to me. I worked in the area of fluid bearings, and there is a case where we are talking about the layered fillings, layered surfaces in the fluid bearings, and then in one instance, the formation of the permeable porous or permeable layer we were referring to, and then I had a chance to refer to one of the paper from the ASME transactions Journal of Operating Mechanics, wherein one of the author has conducted the bi-layered kind of filling. The top layer is having very low permeability, while the bottom base layer is having high permeability. So the point that we were investigating at that stage is also like it is, for example, if the top layer, which is of 20% or 10% thickness, if it can have kind of low permeability characteristics whereby it can resist the flow, it can really give as good result as if the entire thickness of the permeable porous media is having that kind of porosity. So actually, the layer which is actually adherent to the lubricant flow, it has the characteristics of the solution characteristics. It is not necessary that the entire the porous filling to have the same kind of porosity. So even the baseline can be having a kind of a wherein it can have high permeability, but then whatever required characteristics can be embedded on the top layer. But of course, the layer thickness that I'm referring to is again in terms of the micron. By considering the weight, we are to be of the order of 50 or 100 micron. Probably this layer thickness would be of the order of 10% of it. So anyway, perfect, sir. Thank you so much for being part of the IDOC, the IDP 2024. It's wonderful having you over here.
Okay. Can I? Yes. Thank you. Excellent. We can catch up sometime. Just a comment on what you said. But maybe we have run out of time, right? That's okay. Yeah, we'll catch up sometime. Thanks a lot again for the invite. And nice to meet everyone remotely. All the best.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Moving on with the session, we have plenary top man. Today with us, we have Professor Shravante M. Hazarika. Professor Shravante M. Hazarika is an Abdul Kalam Technology Innovative National Fellow. He is a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Mehta Family School of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, IIT Guwahati. He leads the Biometric Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Lab. His primary research interest is in robotic neurorehabilitation. This relates into interest in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and rehabilitation robotics. Prior to joining IIT Guwahati, he was a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Dispur University. He had been a full professor of cognitive systems and neuroinformatics, University of Bremen, Germany. He also BE in Mechanical Engineering from Assam Engineering College, Guwahati, India, and Tech in Robotics from IIT Kanpur, India. He completed his PhD in Artificial Intelligence from School of Computing, University of Leeds, England. Without further delay, I would like to invite Sir on the dais and request respected senior faculty to felicitate him with token of appreciation. I would request Professor Sharma to felicitate